this the functionality of what this end-to-end scraper does, because it's confusing and quite unique. So let me show you how it works, and I'll also show you what it does. So you can find in the README there's instructions on how to set it up and what it does. You can read that, but this will cover pretty much the same things. So to start this script, this is sitting in the GTK. So we're already in this file, and we can just run so we can cd into view end-to-end scraper, and then we can run node bin main. And what this does is it sets up the it sets this up. So what it's doing is we're injecting into every component. These are all the components in GitLab. What we're doing is we're injecting, we're importing this this new utility for recording component test data, which is also, this file is also included in the merge request under injections, so you can see exactly what that does. And what we do is we give it a new name, and the name is the file path, because we're going to use that later. Yeah, so this is a little bit messy, but it should just run in its own container, so it doesn't really matter. Also, this is not a correct view name, but so when we open it in Chrome, you'll see it complains about this, but it also works, so it's I don't think it's a problem for now. So what this does is it updates every single view component to say, when you mount, please record the mock component test data. So we pass the entire this component, the entire component, and then in the record, what we're doing is we're getting the component name, and we're getting the props that this component is rendered with. We're getting the injected values, which is the provide information, and we're getting the URL, and then we're getting the style in that URL, and then what we're outputting is the component name, the props information, the provide information, the URL, and the style info. And what happens is what this is doing is it's running a server, which you can see is this server, and it's listening for data from the GTK to get that props and provide and style information, and then move it into a JSON. So if we render a GitLab page, this is what uses that data, that component viewer, but it's also we can also it will also record this data. So we're just going to refresh the page. Sorry, one thing we have to do first is so because it's using the because we are making an API call from inside the each view component, we need to disable the settings. So one of the things that this script does, disable the security settings. One of the things this it already does is it disables the settings, but we need to restart the GTK. Won't take a second, I'm sure, hopefully. Anyway, I'll keep talking you through that until it works. So then what we can do is once the GTK is restarted, we can browse the GTK, and it will record the information on what how this component is rendered on that page. Let me take you through another part while this loads. Okay, so we'll go to the merge request. So you can see how this all works in main. Main calls all the different everything you see here is just run by main, except for the component renderer. This is update component renderer. This is a slightly different thing, and I think actually we'll move it out of this merge request anyway. So let's ignore it for now. Hopefully when you have a look at this merge request, it won't be in there. Okay, so let's hopefully GDK is running again. Great. Okay, so when we load a page, like projects, every single component that's rendered on this page makes an API call to our server, which records its props. So we can see that running in here. Yeah, I'm not very good at backend, so this is a bit messy. Yeah, so what it's doing is it's gathering the data and then it's updating the JSON all at once. So you can see the JSON here. Yeah, here's our component test data, and it's updating this as it goes, as it has more information, and it's also updating, like for every URL, we want to know what style sheets are imported into that URL so that we can display them on the page. Yeah, so that's how it works. So if you render a different page, you can see all of the components that are rendered on this page, and we're recording all of the data. That's how that works. So the idea is, once we have this running, then we can run our end-to-end tests, and I can't remember the command. Sorry for jumping around. It's all in the README. So we can run our end-to-end tests. So we cd into QA, bundle install, bundle rspec. So now, as our tests run, they're running in a virtual, in a headless version of Chrome. But you can see also, you can see it like in real time saving the data from the end-to-end tests. So the idea would be we run this script, we inject all of these listening tools, and then we run our end-to-end tests on GitLab, and then we listen to every single component, what is it rendered with, and what state is it, rendered. And then our output, we have this JSON that says, okay, the this particular component is rendered with these props, and this is the URL that these props are rendered on. So then the idea would be, if it has the same props, we don't need to know, we don't need to record that information twice. We can just list the different URLs that are rendered with that same data. Okay, and then the output of all of this, we have this page that we started on, the component renderer. Okay, let's refresh. Okay, so what we can do is we can select any component, the brain logo, for example. We can see all of the URLs that it's rendered on, which is every URL. And then we can see on this URL, what are the props that this component is rendered with, what is the provide information that it's rendered with. If necessary, we can update the props, we can update the provide, and we can also see all of the style sheets. Why is that not expanding? Oh, loading. We can see all the style sheets that are loaded onto that page. Hopefully this is just running slow because there's a lot going on. Okay, so you can see on this URL, which is like group, project, merge request, we can see all of the style sheets that are imported on that URL. And that's important for us to know because they may affect how this component is rendered. So one good thing about this component renderer rather than Storybook is we can see what the component looks like in sort of real life, or in the QA end-to-end tests. And we can see how it's rendered in the actual page that it's going to be rendered in. that's the purpose of it. Thanks so much.